The other thing that was amazing, Doug, is, and we found this out in the subsequent weeks when you had a chance to talk to him, and he was out with the team all the time, helping out the young players, even though he was injured and wasn't going to be playing the rest of the year. But we found out how many injuries he played with. I mean, he was quiet about that.
Yeah, he had, some off-season surgeries you never heard about. And, one of the reasons, he got all the days off was because he was trying to compensate for injuries that he's had. But, the thing is, he was an Ironman. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, in a sport that really, it's tough to be an Ironman in. I mean, it's tough to just get through one season, never mind over 10,300 consecutive snaps. Now, what do they do? I mean, this is a guy that was just amazing. This is the guy that's the epitome, the definition of a left tackle. Someone's going to have to go in and take that position. Spencer Drango, I thought, did a serviceable job when Joe got injured and rode out the rest of the season at left tackle. But long term, what are they going to do?
Well, I think you either draft a tackle, or maybe you move the other Coleman over to to the other side. I mean, in free agency, they signed a couple players. So, we got to see if, which direction they want to go. And obviously, Todd Haley's familiar with the tackle they got from Pittsburgh. So there's a chance, although he played a lot of right tackle there, there's a good chance maybe he'll get a shot over there too.
All right, and that would be Chris Hubbard. Tell me this, in this day and age of big offensive linemen, I mean, everybody is big. When I would look at Joe Thomas, and he's lost a lot of weight through the injury process, but even when he was playing in the last few years, I mean, he wasn't that big a guy in the world of offensive linemen.
No, and that's one of the reasons I think he was such a technician, because if you don't have that brute strength, you got to learn a way to absorb the pass rusher or use your footwork to get there. And Joe was a technician. I mean, I say he's a neurosurgeon. I used to be the Boston Strangler. He was a neurosurgeon.
All right, tell me this now. As we continue to monitor what he's going to do, he's really become a media darling. He's very, very good at it. A lot of people think he's going to end up in a network broadcast booth, and I don't know if that really whets his appetite. And look at him right there, Doug, working with the young offensive lineman, which he did so well. He'd be a magnificent coach, too. I mean, he really was a coach on the sidelines. What do you think he's going to do to fill his time?
Well, I think, he's obviously done an audition for the networks, and I think he'd be very good. I think he'd be like a Merlin Olsen type. I think he has that kind of ability. Joe could be whatever he wants. He could be Howard Mudd. He could be Mike Munchak as an offensive line coach.
Right.
I mean, he could be successful. I mean, he is, he just has those traits.
Well, you knew him pretty well because you guys talk the same language. Did the fact that he never did get a chance to play on a winning team that would go to the playoffs, did that eat away at him?
He never complained, but that's that's why Joe wasn't a big vocal leader, but he was a leader by example, and he didn't feel sorry for himself. And I think that in the snaps that he played, that's what makes it more impressive, because when you don't win, it'd be a lot easier to to say I don't want to play today. But Joe, he took such pride in it, and obviously it's going to be one of the streaks that probably never gets broken.
Yeah, I don't think so. Listen, we knew what we had on day one when they drafted him. Okay, he's out fishing.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, all these guys, these top superstars in college football, they're all in the pinstripe suits in Radio City Music Hall. Joe's out fishing on Lake Michigan. There he is right there. I remember it very, very well. It was so unique. He was with his dad and his father-in-law.
Well, in the first practice that they had, when he was a rookie, he came over to me and he said, "I hope you don't mind, I have your number." Hey, there's 95% of those kids on the team don't even know I played for the Browns. But Joe was, I mean, that's how aware of things Joe Thomas is.
All right. Well, it was a real joy, wasn't it? I don't know what I'm going to do when we fill out our lineup cards. It was automatic. Left tackle 73, Joe Thomas. I don't know what I'm going to do.
That might be a reason they got a quarterback who can run real fast.
You're always ahead of the game, I'll tell you. Thanks very much, Doug. Okay.